UFOs are real, burgeoning, not going away. I am your intrepid host, coming to you from an undisclosed location somewhere deep in the heart of the Santa Monica Mountains. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Consider becoming a member. You get 10% off everything in the store. Monthly news magazine comes to you as a form of a web page every single month. And of course, you get members-only content. By the way, don't wait for YouTube to send you a, Ellie's does another show. We do a show here every single day. Even on vacation, we make it happen. Thanks so much for watching. We'll get into this, but first, a word from our very trusted sponsor. Folks, a meta-analysis of 23 controlled trials show that people taking collagen supplements saw real improvements in skin hydration, elasticity, and reductions in wrinkle depth. That means collagen isn't just a beauty fad. It's one of the most studied supplements proven to actually change how your skin looks and feels. This is why I use it every single day, Ageless Multi-Collagen. Folks, I love the way it makes my skin look. It supercharges my skin with 5 types of premium collagen needed to help reduce wrinkles. Since I started drinking collagen daily, I've noticed smoother skin, more elasticity, fewer lines, and a youthful glow. And at 75 years old, I definitely need it. Plus, it also helps improve my joint health, bone strength, and connective tissues. Grab a bag of Ageless Multi-Collagen, 51% off at healthwithla.com. That's www.healthwithla.com, and start experiencing real results. Plus, they have a promotion right now that includes free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, a free ebook titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin. A 60-day, think about this, folks, a 60-day satisfaction guarantee and free shipping with every order. Once again, folks, healthwithla.com. That's healthwithla.com. I'm trying to get this guy, this pastor, Brandon Biggs, on the show. I can't find any type of email address or any type of contact information. If any of you have that, please send it to me. I know he's based in Oklahoma, and I would just love to get him on the show to talk about this. Now, before I even start, this is exactly the opposite of what we had with the channeler, Emily. So now we have a Christian who is a seer, for lack of a better word, a modern-day prophet. I don't know this man, so I'm not going to disparage. We don't disparage anyone on the show. I'm not going to say negative things about him. I don't know him. I'm just going to report to you what he's saying, and you be the judge. That's what we do here. So this is another look at the 3-Eye Atlas deal. Now, remember, months ago when the story broke, I said, and I'll say it again because new people come here, 3-Eye Atlas. Let's walk through that. Atlas is a Nephilim. He is. He's a progeny of fallen angels. So right off the bat, the word Atlas raises a red flag to me. And Atlas is holding the world on his shoulders. 3-eye, third eye. Now, it means third interstellar object. I know that. But isn't it interesting how 3-eye can also be looking at third eye? So, and by the way, Emily, the channeler on the last show I did, was wearing a pendant right over her third eye. I mean, it's all right there. It's based in Eastern mysticism. It's based in occultism. But that's not what we do here. Everything that we do is based on the biblical prophetic narrative. So 3-eye, third eye Atlas, are they signaling that this is a global event? Atlas holding the world on his shoulders. Third eye, 3-eye, third eye being open? I don't know. That's complete conjecture on my part. And so it's not hyperbole, it's conjecture. I don't know what we're looking at. Nobody does. You get both sides of the aisle. So now, this is what Pastor says. I'm here to warn you, Pastor claims ship with demonic spirits is coming for Earth. So here we go. A pastor in America is claiming that God showed him a vision of an alien ship flying over the Vatican and Mayan temples in Mexico. So let me just stop there. We know that there have been UFO sightings over Mayan temples in Mexico. When you go to Chichen Itza, you'll see, and I was supposed to go there in 2012, and at the last minute, the Lord said, don't go, and so we didn't go. And Russ Dizdar was supposed to be with me, and the Lord told him, don't go. And Russ argued, that's a little sidebar here, Russ argued, he was over in France on his own expedition, and he knew he was coming back and then going to Mexico with me. And there was also another gentleman, Richard Grunn, who was supposed to go with us, and then a fourth gentleman. So we had security and everybody was there. It just wasn't LA walking into a lion's den. It wasn't going to happen like that. But at the last minute, the Lord pulled the string on it and said, don't go. So Russ had been arguing with the Lord. And this is a really cool story. So Peggy and I are driving to dinner, and our daughter Sarah calls us and says, Dad, I had a dream. The Lord said, don't go to, Chichen Itza, Mexico. And I said, well, I'm going to go, Sarah. It's just, everything's paid for, the flights, we're headed there. And so I said, but we'll pray about it. And so we prayed in the car, a short little prayer. By the time we got to the restaurant, I looked at Peggy and said, oh my gosh, the Lord confirmed that we're not supposed to go. So I call Russ Disder on the phone. I get his answering machine. I go, Russ, I don't know what to tell you, but the Lord has told me we're not supposed to go. Russ, during that call, Russ is up in his prayer closet. Finally, he agrees, okay, I'm going to call LA. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I will go. This is a true story. The Lord told him, don't go, Russ. So Russ comes down. He sees a message on his answering machine. He clicks it, and it's me telling him we're not going. I mean, it's how the Lord works. Richard Grunn is in Florida. He goes to sleep, and the Lord gives him a dream or whatever, and tells him, don't go. And so he called me. He's not even, it's the same thing. He's not sure how he's going to broach the subject, but we're not going. That's all he knows. So we don't go. That's how the Lord works. And isn't it wonderful? So, this is interesting. And we look at it. We don't embrace it. We look at it. We take a step back from it unemotionally. We use critical thinking. Well, as a prophet, he needs to be accurate, because if he's not accurate, then it's not from the Lord. I'll just give you an example. The Lord gave me a vision a while back, okay? And he told me not to talk about it. Now, that's, what do you do with that? What do you do when the God of the universe shows you something, but then tells you can't share it with anybody except for Gary Stearman? And I did. So let's continue. So Brandon Biggs said in a YouTube video that demonic spirits are coming for Earth, but he doesn't know when. Biggs' claim has gone viral on social media, especially since an interstellar visitor is racing towards the sun. 3i Atlas has been labeled a comet by scientists, but bizarre occurrences and observations have led some scientists to speculate that it could be an extraterrestrial relic. A major distraction is about to take place. I said, Lord, are there two of these? And he said, no, it's just one. Biggs said in a video as per Daily Mail, notably, he had earlier predicted the assassination attempt on Donald Trump 3 months before it happened. This bullet flew by his ear and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum, he said in April last year. 3 months later, a man named Matthew Crooks fired bullets at him at Pennsylvania campaign rally, with one bullet brushing past his ear, leaving Trump bleeding. So let's continue. This has led people to think that his latest prediction about these travelers could also come true. What's shocking is that he has predicted one aspect about the extraterrestrial visitor exactly as Avi Loeb. Avi Loeb is the Harvard scientist that has put forward several anomalies in 3i Atlas to claim that there is a 30 to 40% chance that it is a piece of alien technology. One of his theories is that this mothership could release mini probes that will spread on different planets in the solar system and even replicate. Biggs also said the same thing about this object in July. He said in July this year that he saw little bitty ships coming out of his mothership that were balls of light. The Oklahoma pastor admitted that it sounds way out there, adding, it was way out there to me. I didn't even want to talk about it, but I'm instructed to. I'm just here to warn you. So, this is really interesting. And again, does the Lord speak? Absolutely, the Lord speaks. Are there modern day prophets, as it were? I wouldn't call them prophets, but what do you call someone who gets a word from the Lord? I've had words from the Lord, from the Holy Spirit, and most of them are applicable to me only. For instance, he gave me a word, the first word he's ever done this in Hebrew. It was Magan. It means Magan. That's how you pronounce it in English, but in Hebrew it's Magwain. Okay, I had no idea what this was. It means to deliver, because I looked it up the next morning. And when the Lord gave me that word around 2 o'clock in the morning, Magan, he gives me one word. I don't get, a paragraph. I got one word for the most part. Although he did give me that one sentence, no flesh, no sin, no death, no sting, hail of a king, hail of a king, hail of a king, which was really cool. So he gives me this word, and I'm going, M-A-G-A-N, I'd never heard of it. So as I'm walking to my computer the next morning, the Lord taps me on the shoulder and goes, it's Hebrew. He's never done that before in 45 years of walking. I don't speak Hebrew. He gives me a word in Hebrew, for crying out loud. So I go and I type it in, and sure enough, it comes up. It means to deliver. It also can mean a shield. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What do you do with that? And the next night at 2:00 in the morning, the Lord showed up and delivered me from the oppression that the enemy was putting on me. Not making this stuff up. So when someone like Mr. Biggs says something like this, let's see what happens. We don't start pointing fingers. We don't start accusing or believing. Either way, we sit back and watch. Let's continue. He said that everybody will freak out because they're going to see it moving across the ocean. Biggs further claims that those coming are not aliens, since there is no such thing. So we're on the same page. These are not extraterrestrials. UFOs are not extraterrestrial entities. They are interdimensional beings with a very, very nefarious agenda. Don't believe me? Watch our 10-part DVD set. Thank you, Gil Zimmerman, on UFOs. Gil's my partner. We did 10 films on the whole UFO phenomena, everything from close encounters of the first, second, third, and fourth kind, abductions, crop circles, cattle mutilations, 2 films on Roswell. Finally, what is the truth? We're the only Christian ministry that has 10 films on the burgeoning, there's that word again, UFO phenomenon. So let's continue. There are going to be things in the sky that are going to scare everybody in the days ahead, because people are going to go, oh no, ET really exists. No, it's fallen angels. So we're on the same page here. And Mr. Biggs, if you're watching this, or if someone tells you about it, please consider coming on my show. We have over 256,000 subscribers. I do a show every day. Obviously, I'm a Christian minister, Christian filmmaker, 33 films, 15 books. But so please consider coming on. Oh no, ET really exists? No, it's fallen angels, Biggs said. Even though his prophecy has gone viral, some people are slamming him as fake. So we don't do that here. See? We don't do that. We don't call people names. You're a conspiracy theorist. We don't do that. You're a tinfoil hat wearing guy. We don't do that because that's stupid. You want to know what stupid is? Name calling. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. That's what stupid is. We look at the information. We process the information. We put it on the back burner and let it simmer and see what happens. That's what we do. But we warn people. When I see a story like this, I'm going with it. When Avi Loeb tells us that it might be a black swan event, I'm going with it. When we have a channeler, a New Age channeler, Emily, the last show we did, who tells us that these are friendly ETs and they're going to reveal themselves, my ears perk up. You need to be aware of this. Your kids and your grandkids already know all this stuff, but you don't. Most of the over 40 crowd has no idea what's going on from the other side of the aisle because they don't go to TikTok. The 50 over crowd for certain doesn't go there. I do a show on TikTok every single day, but I digress. So let's go. Let's continue. Some people were slamming him as fake. But since his prediction about Trump came partly true, Trump did not burst his eardrum. Netizens fear there was a chance that this spaceship is coming for Earth. Besides, it coincides with 3i Atlas and Loeb's theory that there is a possibility that it is not of natural origin. So, this is the latest update on 3i Atlas. The interstellar comet flew by Mars on October 2nd and 3rd. It is now traveling towards the sun. It will reach, we already talked about this, perihelion, closest point to the sun, on October 29th or 30th. So that's in the future, because today, we're around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of October. Loeb says that if it is truly a comet, 3i Atlas would disintegrate because of the acceleration. So we don't know what we're looking at. It's all over the map, and that's why we're here reporting on it. We talk about it. I would also suggest that we are up to rung number 23. When you go to rungsofdisclosure.com, Rungs of Disclosure, here's the book. The book, I think, has 17 rungs. I'm so bad at numbers. Please forgive me. Yeah, but the 17th rung, the end game. Now, that's conjecture on my part. But the 16th rung is there. And we're up to the 23rd rung, even as we speak. So you go to rungsofdisclosure.com. There's a video on every single rung that's there. And the 22nd rung was Congress showing a UFO and then a Hellfire missile glancing off the UFO like it was just nothing. How is it possible that that's even possible? The 23rd rung was alien DNA. In other words, women who are abducted, right, and they have a hybrid growing in their womb, they still contain elements of that DNA in their DNA. It shows up in their blood. So we have several abductees, and we are in the process of trying that on our own and flying this person or having this person go up to our geneticist, drawing blood, having the blood analyzed, and seeing if there's DNA. Rungsofdisclosure.com, rungsofdisclosure.com. You know, the book has been out a year now, and we're already up to the 23rd rung. So it's not going away. And the end rung, the last rung on the ladder of disclosure is full-blown contact when they reveal themselves. And the end game, and I'll say it again here, the punchline of that whole book is this, that there's going to be a nuclear event. That's conjecture on my part, but that creates the greatest climate of fear that humanity has ever experienced collectively. That's where they show up. They will tell us, we created all life on this planet, we genetically manipulated early man, we started the world's civilizations, the world's religions now is this critical juncture in human history. We, the Anunnaki, E.T., we are back to usher mankind into a golden age. The New Ages are already talking about this, folks. They are. And you need to understand that this is the coming great deception. The question is, do we go up first, or do they come down and then we go up? I don't know. There's a saying I coined, we go up, they come down. We go up, they show up. That might be right. But what if it's exactly the opposite? And I say that because that saying is conjecture. I didn't get it from the Lord. That's conjecture. What if they come down and then we go up? Why? Because this is what the New Agers and channeled information. Emily is channeling information with the dowsing rods, right? We showed that in one of our latest updates here. There is a potential for many people to leave the planet in an afternoon. The people who leave the planet during a time of Earth changes do not fit here any longer and are stopping the harmony of the Earth. The New Agers have already talked about it. It's right there. They've already explained away the rapture of the church. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but shall be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. At the last trump, a trumpet will sound, the dead in Christ will rise first. Those who are alive and reign will be caught up, harpazo. That's where we get the word rapture. Together to greet the Lord in the air, and so shall we evermore be with the Lord. Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep. We all be changed in a moment, a twinkling of an eye. At the last trump, the trumpet will sound, the dead will be raised imperishable, for we all must be changed. For the imperishable must be clothed with the imperishable, and the mortal with immortality. Before we go up, we are changed in a twinkling of an eye. What is changed? Our DNA. I've already talked about this. Isaiah arrives in the throne room. Woe is me, I am a man of unclean lips. Why does he say that? He arrives with his sin nature. So we're not going to meet the Lord in the air, greet the Lord in the clouds. We're not going to be in our sin nature. No, he's going to change our DNA. He's going to remove our sin nature in a twinkling of an eye. I can't wait. Is it soon? Could be. I don't know. No idea. Now the date setter, but more than likely next Wednesday. Of course, I say that tongue in cheek. That's it, folks. We will be keeping an eye on 3i Atlas, and any new information that comes out, we'll let you know. In the meantime, keep us in prayer. We're working on another film that we actually been in the camp for 2 years. It was usurped or pushed to the side because of our 10-box DVD set. And then, of course, Holy Fire, Holy Shroud. This will be number 9 on the Trail of the Nephilim, and I am working on it. I think you'll find it interesting. The Lord has taken us off the conference trail. Right now, we have nothing scheduled. Of course, if you want us to come to your church, there are some criteria which we can talk about. If you have a contact for Pastor Biggs, please consider sending that to me. I would love to get him on the show and have him talk about what the Lord gave him. And again, we don't disparage people. We don't call them names here. We discuss the issues, and we apply critical thinking to it. So what is 3i Atlas? I'll wrap it up by saying this. Nobody knows. You don't know. I don't know. I will say one more thing. Allegedly, NASA has set in motion some very interesting things to keep an eye on this 3i Atlas 6. So we'll see where it goes. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow with another show.
It is a beautiful day up here in the 49th state, so I thought I'd take advantage of this good weather window before the snow comes and get out here and look for some tracks and tree structures. If you're wondering about my shirt already, yep, I'm an LA Marzulli guy. So L.A. Marzulli, in case you don't know who he is an established author, commentator, and filmmaker. And we had him on the show about a year ago, and we got a lot of heat for that show. And the reason we got heat is because there's a lot of people in the Bigfoot research community that absolutely come unglued if you come from a biblical perspective, namely the Nephilim connection theory where it relates to Sasquatch. And they just come unglued about that. And we got heat. But they were really saying more about themselves than they were about us. So we appreciated that L.A. Marzulli took the time to come to our small podcast and talk to us about the alien phenomenon, as well as the Nephilim connection theory where it relates to Sasquatch. So we encourage you to go check out his website at lamarzulli.net. He's got a lot of great stuff over there. And yeah, in case you're not familiar with the Nephilim connection theory, look into it.
The late Russ Dizdar and I created the Nephilim Mounds conferences, and we had people like Gary Stearman there, Chief Joseph Rivler, of course, Fritz Zimmerman. I mean, he's the guy that got me on the trail of a Nephilim, which resulted in 8 films, and number 9 is coming out soon. But guess what? Here's the Nephilim Mounds collection. There are hours and hours of presentations. Gary Stearman, Fritz Zimmerman, Chief Joseph Rivler, and yours truly, and others weigh in on the Nephilim. And you know what, folks? You can see right here the great serpent now. Yeah, we believe that's Nephilim architecture, fallen angel technology. So for $60, you get all these DVDs here. It's absolutely incredible. There are 11 discs in the set, plus a bonus DVD, Watcher 6, The Secret Cosmic War. This is when we went to Peru. And with our guide, Brian Forrester, we learned and ventured to what we believe is fallen angel technology, Nephilim architecture, and it's pre-flood. Go to lamarzulli.com, lamarzulli.com. What are you waiting for? Avail yourself. There's so much teaching, so much good stuff in this 11-disc set. Plus, you get the bonus DVD. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.